Hello, and welcome to the Roughneck Minute, a Movies by Minute podcast where we go over the movie Starship Troopers 1 minute at a time. I'm one of your hosts, Matthew.
And I'm your other host, Johann.
And we're at minute 55. This minute begins with a mother's manic laughter and ends with Dizzy saying big bad bugs.
Huh? She says big bad bugs, huh?
Big bad bugs.
Yeah, that squeezes in like at the last moment.
Oh, yes, that's right.
So, obviously, we're going to start with that crazy mother.
She's not crazy. She's enthusiastic.
That is maniacal.
I suppose so.
My first instinct, I thought she was the teacher. That's why she seemed to be so encouraging with what they're doing. But the fact it's a mother makes it seem a little bit worse.
I mean, so she's the mother who is like helicoptering her kids kind of thing.
Yeah.
She's the one who's making sure, oh, everyone, yeah, we're going to play a part. We're going to kill some bugs too. Don't you want to kill bugs, little Johnny?
Yeah, but the thing that makes it weird is when it's a teacher that's influencing the children, you at least have the parental guidance to say, no, these are the things that are wrong with it. Or, these are things that are right with it. Something to control everything. But when it's a parent that does it, then it just seems a little bit weirder because this is the sense of control that the kids have.
Well, I mean, hey, don't tell other parents how to parent, okay? I'm a parent. Don't tell me that I shouldn't be maniacally laughing when my son is stomping bugs, all right, Johann? Ellie can stomp as many bugs as he wants.
I'm just going to say if I see it, then I'm just going to go, something not right with that man.
Boy, ain't right.
That man ain't right.
But it gets a little pixelated. I'm sorry. This is, again, Stephanie Erb, E-R-B. She's playing the Manic Mother. The word that I couldn't say at the beginning of the episode for some reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's very enthusiastic about this. I mean, I don't know. Like, again, I kind of do this little kayfabe thing of, like, not agreeing with Johann, pulling back the curtain a little bit. But yeah, she's kind of crazy, man. If this is kind of like the soccer mom, like, being way too into what her daughter or son is doing.
Yeah. Okay, so this is I guess this is the point why I think it's weird is because I ref hockey. And it's just a constant annoyance of the parents getting way too into the game. Sometimes when a kid is, like, skating in and they try to make a turn, but their feet are too close together, they'll make themselves fall. Like, It happens a lot. And then they just scream for a penalty because the defenseman was too near. Like, they think it tripped because there's no way little Johnny could have made himself fall with poor skating skills.
Yeah.
And you just hear it all the time. So I just kind of already have it in the side of my head that I'm just like, all right, maniacal parents, I do not like them already.
Yeah, she seems like the kind of lady who would just be pounding her seat at the junior jump ball competition that her son or daughter is playing at right now.
Yeah, and it's just constantly yelling, "Ref, open your eyes. Did you see that? Call a penalty.
Come on!"
Blah, blah, blah. And then yelling at the other kids for not being as good, saying they suck, get them off the ice, blah, blah, blah. This is what that parent seems like. Now that you've mentioned that that reference of sports parents.
Yeah, she does seem like that, happy sports parents. Or in my case, my one of the things that I hate to go into a little bit more fabe here, or a little less fabe, go into real life, but my wife was kind of lived through vicariously through her mother a little bit too. So she had, like, pageants and whatnot too.
Oh, okay.
So her mom wanted to be pageants, but my wife is like, nah.
Yeah. See, but I don't know. I think this is also that type of parent that if the star player was on the team, she would just constantly goad her kid to be like that star player.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about this parent. All right.
But yeah, we changed that a little bit because the screen gets a little pixelated and we get the view of a bridge of a ship. Countdown to victory.
Yeah, the pixelated wipe.
I like it because it's like, oh no, we're cutting in on your normal, happy-go-lucky feed to show you something real, man. Something's going down. Yeah, Countdown to victory.
But that's what's weird. Is this like this is a emergency broadcast. We're going to show you this. And then the mother watching those kids step on the bugs is like a regular programming.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not the same, like, would you like to know more or do your part type things that we get, like that regular interjection that you see on the screen. Yeah, you're right. This seems like this is like an emergency broadcast where they cut into everything. It's just weird that possibly that the mother watching those kids step on the bugs is a program. Like, what do you want to watch tonight? Oh, let's watch kids stepping on bugs on Channel 4. You know what I mean? It's like this part here where it goes to the bridge is an emergency, what's it called? Like breaking news type thing.
Yeah,
You know,
this is definitely breaking news.
Yeah, the white Bronco, which you can kind of see a white starship in the distance.
Do you think that the federal services or the Pizza Hut in BA or federal services are going to run out of pizza?
No, God.
For the drop 'em climb Deathu?
Dang it, I'm hungry. Now I want pizza.
Oh man, we gotta eat beforehand, man.
I know, I keep forgetting to do that.
Yeah.
Alright,
Well,
anyways.
now, well, we can't because I'm pretty sure all the pizza's gone.
Yeah. I'll just go to Little Caesars.
Oh, they got the hot and ready's carry out.
Yep. $6. Get that bigger, better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
They've kind of gotten better on their. Beforehand, it was kind of like cardboard, but they've gotten better.
Oh man, that got me through 7th and 8th grade, man. Those Bigfoot pizzas.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that were squares. Hell yeah, those things were amazing.
Yeah, but they weren't that good for the price. I mean, you go there, you get those. You go to Walmart to get those 25-cent sodas. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
That's pretty much what I did. And that was 7th and 8th grade. It was an awesome summer.
Just walking around on the street with a box of pizza in your hand.
Yeah, no, we sat in front of a like a laundromat where they had Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah, so Little Caesars got pizza. Went to I think it was like an Albertsons, got a soda, ate that. Then with the change, we played Mortal Kombat. It was great.
But yeah, we break net live and go to Fort Ticonderoga in the middle of the arachnid quarantine zone. So it's quarantine except for the military. And this is a awesome looking space station named after the normal Fort Ticonderoga that is in upstate New York.
Yeah. And did you notice the guy with the calculator on the clipboard?
Yeah, I did actually.
I'm pretty sure they still sell that today.
They do, yeah.
Just that mini financial calculator that you can attach to a clipboard. They still sell that today.
You know, I don't know what this regular looking calculator is doing on the bridge of a ship. They need to have like a TI-84 at least.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. You'd need something that can actually do what's it called, trajectory.
Yeah, this is just doing division at best.
Well, I think this is the old. I'd like to say it's a brother, the one you can actually type on with words.
Mm-hmm.
So he's actually showing her the word boobs with a QWERTY keyboard instead of like numbers. So he's like, look, check it out, boobs. And then she nods, yep. And he's like,
and then if I turn it upside down, it's the same thing.
Yeah, no, it's boob.
It's boob.
Yeah. But so he just, well, yeah, I guess if you write boobs or boob, then it's going to be the same backwards. But if he says boobs with an S, it's not going to be the same. But yeah, so she nods. She's like, yeah, I see that. And he's like, okay, acknowledge. And he like walks away.
But yeah, so we get a nice little scene of a couple of federal frigates just coming into dock as well too. They're different colors. They do have different registries on them. The first one in front of us is 198. One next to it is 193, and the one very, very far away is one that we can't see again because we don't have the 4K resolution yet on ours.
But you see a different ship that it kind of zooms in on, or like as it's panning before we see the solar flare effect.
Yep.
It looks like one of the escape shuttles from Star Wars, the first one that Prince Leia's on.
Yeah, kind of.
Except the thrusters are horizontal instead of vertical. You know, there's one on top, one on the bottom. Now it's one on the left, one on the right. It looks like that.
It definitely does. I've been actually trying to find a ship registry or a ship kind of like those kind of top down, or at least the ship comparisons for Starship Troopers. I've only found one. And it's just showing like the different sizes of the different ships. Like there are different federal frigates
Mm-hmm.
and they range to smaller frigates to like large like battleship kind of frigates.
Yeah.
But there's really no like definitive, shipyard or ship of the line kind of looking thing that I would actually love to have. But there are definitely different sizes of frigates. There are definitely different types of ships as well too. Actually, they do have a ship of the line pretty much. Okay, this one. So I did look this up. This is called the auxiliary ship. That's basically what it is. This is a smaller version of it. It's kind of like a Carillion frigate a little bit. It is made for hauling cargo, and it can actually move those engines in the back either up or down. But those kind of arms in the back are made for holding cargo.
Okay. That's weird because, well, I don't know. I'm not going to say it's weird because the Millennium Falcon is a little bit imbalanced as well.
It really is, yeah. But the way it kind of looks, I don't know. It doesn't look like it should be hauling cargo, but the way like there was someone who drew the way that it looks if it's hauling cargo, kind of does now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, is the arms on the side or behind?
It's behind.
That's just weird to do that. Here's your cargo completely dusted by my thrusters.
Well, see, as I said, the cargo engines apparently move a little bit too. So they can either be like modularly put behind it or something like that, or I'm not sure exactly because there's not really diagrams showing us how they move this stuff. But the ship is usually made that can provide maintenance for larger ships, fire support, transport, and command and communications. So it's just made. It's basically an all-purpose, multi-purpose ship.
Okay.
Yeah, but we get a nice little, model shot of the Ticonderoga as well too.
Yeah, it's just that this auxiliary ship looks kind of like a squid.
I've always thought that too. It really does.
Oh, the Matrix stole this idea. No, of course not. But it's kind of a cool ship at the same time. I just don't see how practical it is because its cargo would have to be technically small, or else it would get no thrust.
So there's one. Yeah, that's true. I mean, you have to speed up at a certain point. But do you remember in? Actually, we'll get to the minute pretty soon in the next couple of weeks. But there is a scene where Carmen kind of looks back to the captain after the captain says random and light, and one of the ships gets blown up.
Okay,
it's just a normal ship. It's that was one of the auxiliary ships carrying a lot of cargo.
Oh, okay.
So beforehand, and then after that, it hits one of the other Corvette, the frigate's engines, and then she's like, "Oh, no, this isn't random and light at all."
Someone made a big mistake.
Mm-hmm. But we're not going to get to that yet because it's my favorite line in the whole entire thing, just because of the syndicated version of the movie.
Yeah. All right. But so, yeah, it's just weird that we finally got. This is the first appearance of the second ship.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one thing I wish, but I know it's not possible in this sort of universe. Is that all these ships are uniform because it's military.
Yeah.
But then in Star Trek, you have multiple different designs for ships. And that was the only thing I wish, that when I saw this bay with all these different ships, that there was like different ones for different reasons.
Yeah, it's kind of, well, I mean, if you do different ship designs, think of it like, how is the economy in Star Trek? They're just building stuff and doing stuff for the betterment of mankind. They're utopia, basically.
Yeah. So
they can have different ships for like the Nebula class, which is a straight up science vessel, which is the big saucer of the Enterprise D, but like the little nacelles and everything. Or you have like the medical ships that have like the Daedalus class, which are like the big ones that have the big circle at the very front of it, but then the nacelles on the very back. Dude, don't get me started on Star Trek ships, okay?
Yeah.
I know way too much about them. But I mean, like this place is this universe is probably based mostly on military and the basic military design of ships, and whatever can get the job done is probably the best.
Yeah.
So they
Okay.
really don't need any cool configuration. We do see an actually new ship at the very end of the movie, and they actually go into different ship designs towards in the other sequels as well too.
Yeah, I think because near the end of the movie they start to discover more things. Like first off, is the lights. Like we'll
Hmm.
get into that later on, but that would be a reason to upgrade your gear.
Yeah.
So anyway, so let's continue with this particular minute because otherwise we're just like going off on other minutes that come later. And I'm just afraid of repeating myself in a later minute.
Oh, we're gonna do that. I mean, we've been doing that forever, but
Yeah.
people still listen to us. How you guys doing out there? You liking it? We're talking about Star Trek again. You nerds! You listen to me talk about ships. All right. Well, let's get back to the movie. We see our old long lost friend, Fred Travers, the FedNet correspondent, and he's alive. Of course, he's alive. This is before the drop of Clandather, before he dies.
Yeah.
But he says, no one knows exactly when, but here on Ticonderoga, everyone's saying it's tomorrow. And he says that here's a bunch of MI kids who look like they can eat bugs for breakfast. And does he just interject, yum, 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 yum?
Well, first off, the thing that's weird about this scene is a lot of people staring at the camera. But then I have to take into effect that this is supposed to be like a live news feed.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it becomes a little bit acceptable.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, all these kids are like, oh, hey, look at me, Mom. I'm on the TV.
Yeah.
I'm on the FedNet.
But there's someone to the reporter's left, our right, who's just making like flirting eyes, and he's even winking at the camera. I mean, granted, he's a good looking dude, but it's just weird. Because it feels like he's like flirting with you.
A little bit, yeah, but then he says he looks towards like somewhere else besides Fred Travers in the camera, and he's like, "Oh yeah, hey, how you doing?" Like he saw someone that he knows.
Yeah, but it just looks weird.
I'm more interested in the girl in the back who's on Fred Travers' right hand side shoulder, and she just keeps smiling her goofy smile like all that time.
What takes me out is just that guy that's like, "Hey, what's up?" Flirt, wink. Is she the one that you're saying with the pulled back hair?
Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, she's just having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
It's
cool.
kind of weird, though. I did notice one thing, though.
What's that?
So, it seems that everyone in the MI, or everyone on the ship, or everyone in the service kind of has some kind of uniform hairstyle. Guys, have like this clean cut, comb over, or little spikies like Ace does. Girls usually have like the top bun or some kind of other bun, but we get Dizzy here with her lovely locks just flowing everywhere.
Yeah, so this scene appears right before the reporter says like it's like, so I see there's some young soldiers here, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, let's see what the soldier thinks about Johann Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks to, who comes in the scene is Dina Meyer, and her first line is yum yum yum. So, yeah. So accurate.
Yes. And I'm sorry, the reporter actually says, here's a couple kids who look like they can eat bugs for lunch, not breakfast.
Yeah, and then he says, oh, but let's interject with that by asking what they think about Johann Joseph.
Yep.
And she says, yum, yum, yum. And then he's like us, he goes on tangents sometimes. Sometimes they're important, but...
And then Ace says, well, yeah, you throw a nuke down his throat and you gotta let a dead Johann's.
Nah, he doesn't say that.
No, he doesn't say that.
Yeah, he's saying, I'm going to protect Johann with my life.
And then Kitten comes up. He's like, yeah, you can't get any until we get some first.
Oh, Kitten. It's so bad for you. Because it already happened, so I can talk about it, but... Oh, Kitten.
Yeah, Kitten, no. Unfortunately, Kitten is gonna die. We already know this.
Yeah, it happens in the first 5 minutes where he yells out, Kitten!
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so he's basically interviewing our known friends who are excited as all heck to fight bugs. They have no clue what's going on, but they're excited. Fred Travers then goes on to say, well, you know what? Some folks are, saying that the bugs are provoked by humans in their natural habitat, that some are saying that a live and let live policy is more effective or more preferable than fighting.
Yep. And of course, who's in earshot?
Mr. Johnny Rico.
Yep. He says, shut up, hippie.
He's like, yeah, like, let me cut your hair real quick, hippie. No, he actually just says, hey, let me tell you something. I'm from Buenos Aires, and I say, kill them all.
Yep.
Oh, classic line, another one. Classic line. Kill them all.
Made famous by Metallica. 10 years before.
Yeah. This is actually one of the shots from the trailer as well, too. The beginning trailer that we watched at the beginning of this movie. Where he's just like, oh, kill them all. Yeah, because we know we're going to kill them all.
And then he makes that eye towards the camera like, you get all that?
It's like, yeah, I guess some people don't want to live and let live, especially this guy who, said he was from Buenos Aires.
Yep. Well, who would want, it's kind of like a bad thing in a way. But, after the events of 9/11, there was just this unnatural hatreds towards people from the Middle East.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But this one, luckily, it's the bugs,
Yeah,
But everybody's kind of getting swept up in the...
fervor?
And the propaganda and the kind of the mob mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have a common enemy and it's visible. And especially with the destruction of Buenos Aires, everybody, it's easy to jump on towards the hate.
Yeah.
In this one, it's not as bad, I guess, because of the bugs, because we haven't seen them in any sort of civilized manner. But that's where the mentality is. And a part of me thinks that this reporter knew that would happen, but just by saying that comment, that live and let live, would spark anger in people.
Yeah, it definitely would. It's kind of like, I don't know what I'm going to say on that part, but yeah, it definitely is. He is probably trying to get a rise out of someone, not hoping that, you got someone directly from Buenos Aires, but someone who has really strong feelings. But he got someone directly from, the impact of Buenos Aires, directly from the impact of the bug war.
So this kind of thing, kind of like why I think he says this to spark a comment or anger, is kind of like that video on YouTube of ProZD, of opinions on the internet,
mm-hmm.
where he says someone on it's a commentary where someone online says I don't like this thing, and then someone says I like that thing. I love that thing. And then he just goes on this tirade of there are people that love this thing, and kind of you were wrong for making that comment. Mm-hmm. And then it goes back to the person that made the comment saying, but I like this thing. And he's like, what?
Oh, I hate that thing.
What? That thing sucks.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So it's just that thing where it seems like he's just sparking that comment because he knows he can get it.
Yeah.
So if anybody's interested, that video is called Opinions on the Internet, and it's by ProZD. That channel is actually really funny, and I do like it.
But we come to the end of our minute when Dizzy says, oh, big bad bugs.
Yeah. So, where is it? It's not... There's this whole cut scene on here that isn't here, but it's it's supposed to go right after they spoke to the reporter, mm-hmm. and right before the next minute. One of the minutes I don't like. But reading into the original script, it kind of makes sense of why I would have liked this if they just kind of opened it up.
I don't know this, but go for it.
Should we talk about it on this minute or next minute?
Well, would it be... You know what? Let's talk about it next minute.
All right, because it would make a little bit more sense to tie them together.
Yeah, that's actually... It works a little better.
So stay tuned, listeners.
Yep, come back on Wednesday of this week to hear Johann's ideas and what he found out about the next minute.
Yep.
Because this is Monday.
Yes.
Not Tuesday.
Yes. We don't have things on Tuesdays.
No, we don't. We're not a 5 episode a week podcast. We're only 3.
Yeah. We only have time for the 3.
Unfortunately. Especially recently.
Yeah.
But we've been getting them out no matter what. But do you have anything else you want to talk about this minute at all?
Nope. I think I'm all right.
All right. Well, where can they find you, Mr. Han?
You guys can find me on Twitch and Instagram at J-D26. You can also find me on Twitter at OMG It's Johann.
And you guys can find me at AltTabMatt pretty much anywhere online you can find people. Unfortunately, I'm not on Twitch that much right now because one of my memory modules on my computer did die. And I'm not able to stream very well with only 8 gigs of memory.
Yeah.
It happens.
That sucks.
It really does, but I'm hoping I can get I can get a new memory module for Christmas, maybe.
Yeah, there you go. There's a lot of sales going around.
Yeah. You can follow the show at The Roughneck Min on Twitter, MIN. You can also go to our website, theroughneckminute.podbean.com for any past episodes or show notes. Or you can go to our Facebook group, The Roughneck Minute, Billet, Billet, and talk about big bad bugs with us. Go ahead and also subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes or Google Play or any other podcatcher you guys can find us on. But I've been one of your hosts, Matthew.
And I've been your other host, Johann.
And we will see you on the Balance Troopers. This minute begins with... we're at minute 55. This minute begins with a Munner... This minute begins with a Munner's